Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Black and White Gaming's Game Club. I am your host, Peter Hoyt, joined by John Longaluco, a.k.a. Johnny Bag of Donuts.
How's everyone doing today?
And Devon Colbert, a.k.a. The Real Kratos, and so many other names.
Boy.
What is the Game Club? The Game Club is where we pick a game and we play it section by section, and then we discuss those sections every week, and we put the episode out. So, I want to let you guys know a little update. The episodes, previously I said they were coming out on Sunday. They're going to be coming out on Monday now. The NFL season kicking off, you know. I kind of need, you know, another day in the weekend to edit this. So
he's the degenerate, folks. All right.
I am.
I don't know why. I mean, the Patriots are just going all the way anyways.
Yeah. And I need to watch every second. So episodes will be coming out on Monday evenings now. So stay tuned for that. Guys, we are playing Deadly Premonition for this season 2 of the Game Club. And we are on episode 3. Episode 3, guys. Let's go. To give a little recap, previously, we had to go through a haunted lumber mill. We had to investigate the scene of the crime. We had to escape the killer. We held the town hall meeting, met a bunch of people, and we got to go out to dinner with some of the law enforcement and have really weird conversations.
Some of the squad.
Piston and skulls.
Woo! Pissing in skulls, 800 women raped. Just absolute insanity.
Just a normal day for good old Francis York Morgan. Call me York.
Well, without further ado, let's jump in to episode 3. What we had to do was play to the end of episode 2, part 1. I wasn't very specific with that, but I did say 3 chapters. So I apologize about that. But let us continue. We start off. We're back in the red room. The twins are there.
Twins.
The devil twins. They're asking if you're thirsty.
Are you thirsty? You must be very thirsty. You only take milk with your coffee?
They know York likes his coffee. What does the milk say? We don't know. Suddenly, this weird woman pops up.
Hey, girl.
We think it's Anna, right? It looks like Anna. Woman works at the A&G diner. We know that Anna worked there. And then someone else appears next to Anna. It's Becky with the good hair, folks.
Woo!
Creep.
What does she say to him?
Who are you?
My name is Becky.
My name is Becky.
Give me a B. Give me an E.
And what else
Becky
does she
Ames.
say? My name is Becky.
I know. York tries to ask her, "What are you doing here?" And she answers,
My name is Becky.
So creepy, dude.
Becky Ames is Anna's friend, and so we know Becky must be important if she's showing up in York's dream red room world. The kids tell you to take a sip of coffee and go. York just that, because who doesn't need a cup of coffee, right? I could use one right now.
Can I tell you, I still had the flies when I started this section too. It pissed me off.
Yes,
like,
I still had the flies because I didn't have a chance to change my suit. I did it immediately after this cutscene. I went straight there. Yep.
I forgot to mention last episode that I did change my suit when I never experienced the flies. So when we were talking about it, I was like, I don't understand. And then when I saw the flies, I was like, huh, that's weird. And then I remembered I did change my suit.
Mm-hmm.
So
you lucky bastard. I wish I remembered to do that.
I can do no wrong. I can do no wrong. The only thing that can stop me is game crashes. That's it.
When you try to leave the red room, York is in another area. There's a bunch of silver trees around in a lake, and there's the little kid from the first episode from one of the earlier chapters is there, and York says,
That's me. That's me when it happened.
Kudos to Devon. I do remember Devon calling that, saying,
I can do no
think
wrong.
that's York. York wakes up.
He's like hiding under the covers too.
You see the fucking flies, dude? You'd be hiding under the covers as well.
Still has the flies going around.
He's trying to
Those flies are resilient. They do not let up. Well, it's also probably because York's still wearing his entire suit to bed.
I can't imagine how bad that room smells.
Putting a lot of work in, you know what I'm saying?
Just cigarettes and ass. It's just
York wants to get some food because the objective of the day is to go meet Diane. Diane is the owner of the art gallery. That's who we need to go meet. And George said that they'd pick him up in the morning. But first, York wants some breakfast. So after you change your suit, so the flies finally leave your playthrough.
Oh, pizza shaver.
I shaved, bro. I shaved. Didn't you see?
Devon,
I
look-
actually really did
Look at
shave.
that. Devon, what'd you do? Did you keep the beard? Or did you shave?
Yeah, I got the beard going, bro.
Me too, bro.
Oh, nice.
I'm just gonna let it go, dude.
You get
Me
money for
too.
shaving. Imagine that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. When you shave, you get money.
Why?
I don't know.
Seems fucking stupid, dude.
What? Okay.
It's great.
Let me sidebar. Can we talk about the money in this fucking town? It makes no sense whatsoever, dude. I was like hungry and I was like, I'm gonna go to a vending machine, get some snacks, right? $34 for fucking crackers, dude.
Can you imagine
like-
if there was a cutscene of York just putting $1 after another into the machine?
And then you dry clean your clothes. It's like, $8. So I was like, hold on a second.
Dude, isn't getting your car washed like $14 or the gas $14? One of those
Yeah.
is
I haven't
super
even
cheap.
done either of those.
But the food and the coffee, a cup of coffee is $35.
Like, come on.
That's asinine. That shit should be
Like-
liquid gold going down my throat. That shit should make me fly.
I'm sorry. I
No
I
worries.
just that was something I noticed today. I was like, what are you talking about right now?
As York tries to leave the room, he bumps into Forrest Kaysen, a new character. This
Yeah.
fat, pudgy man.
Sketchball, bro.
Yes, this is the
100%.
guy. This is the man who dropped off Diane. This was like the little cliffhanger that we got last episode. He was the one who dropped him off. You can see Willie the Dalmatian in the background.
Cute.
Forrest Kaysen introduces himself.
I'm Kaysen, Forrest Kaysen. Nice to meet you. I travel a whole lot, you see, selling tree saplings. Just the usual salesman doing the usual road trip. Sometimes I feel, I don't know, like a jolly old bumblebee spreading pollen.
Guys, is there anything about Forrest Kaysen that you want to mention?
Can we talk about the fact that my man is carrying a sapling in his hands?
He
Hi.
is carrying a
Everywhere
sapling.
he fucking goes.
everywhere
Right.
he goes. Everywhere he goes. John pointed out that sapling in the cutscene last episode, because it was sitting there in the car seat. He gives that sapling to York.
And then immediately picks up another one. Somehow
Yes.
it's just fucking there.
Why does Forrest Kaysen have these saplings? Because he sells them. And there's saplings that he says,
I'm pretty much the only one who can make those saplings sprout. There's a trick to it that can't really be passed on, you know? It's like, the secret of making a good smoked ham, something like that.
The fact that the sapling has red leaves, man. I'm just saying.
mm,
I'm not saying that it's fucking eerie, but it's fucking eerie. Yeah, it's fucking there, dude.
Yep.
And his tree, bro. Yeah, just saying.
Things to look out for. We do have to talk about the fact that York did meet Willie. Guys, what do you think of Willie?
I think Willie's great.
Good dog.
Good dog.
All right. I don't trust his fucking owner.
How can you hate Dalmatians? right?
Exactly.
Everyone's
How
gonna
can,
love
you
that.
hate, how can you hate dogs at all?
We got to find the other 100,
Sure.
right?
Fact.
So.
What?
What a
No,
poor
this is not
reference.
Kingdom Hearts. This is not Kingdom Hearts. Mhm.
Was there anything about Forrest Kaysen that you recognized right off the bat?
He looks like John Goodman. Nothing that I noticed until at the very end of the conversation.
You didn't notice until the end?
Nah, yeah. When he said it,
Before
was
I
like,
even say
"Ah."
it, did you think that was pretty cool? Were you like, oh,
Yeah, I was like, all right. I was like, but I already think it's like there's so many red herrings in this fucking game. I'm just like, I don't believe anything that I'm seeing. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's just to lead us down a fucking path.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about the big reveal,
Mhm.
or should I say the reveal? We don't know if it's a big one, but it's something that York put together. When Forrest Kaysen finally says his farewells, York talks to Zach and says,
Zach, do you remember what the coffee said? Forrest Kaysen. F.K. This show has just begun.
ooh.
Why did I fucking glaze over that?
He actually mentions it in the.
I know he mentions
Yeah,
it in
I
the
know.
cutscene.
I just got it now.
Yeah. I'm still calling it
Dude.
Francis York.
I'm
it's
so
the
fucking
bookend.
stupid, bro. Oh my god! I told you, bro. This dude's fucking sketch.
So
Coffee warned me about it, bro. Fucking coffee, kid. Yo, I'm so angry right now.
what do you guys think of Forrest Kaysen in
I
the
think he's
coffee?
sketch.
Harmless.
Harmless?
And it's the FK is not Forrest Kaysen. That's not what it stands for.
Nah, dude.
Francis
gotta be.
York. Francis York. Beginning and end. Francis York.
Nah, dude. The dude's sketchy, bro. He's got all the signs. He's got the
Dude.
FK. He's got the tree. He's
Nah.
dude.
It's exactly what they want you to think, dude. He's pathetic. He's pathetic.
That's not
Harmless. Harmless.
York goes to have breakfast. He talks with Polly a little bit. He asks about Mr. Kaysen. Mr. Kaysen gives everybody saplings that he meets. Well, not everybody. Everyone he feels
And he puts people on
comfortable
saplings,
with.
Strange thing to say.
Polly says,
Ah, good old Mr. Kaysen. Did he give you a sapling?
As a matter of fact, he did. Don't tell me he gives one to everyone he meets.
No, only to the people he feels comfortable with. He told me.
and I'm thinking, wait a minute. He gave York a sapling right off the bat. They just
Right.
met. Sketchy.
Mhm.
Sketchy.
That's what
Then
I'm
Polly
saying,
dodges
bro.
all your questions about Forrest Kaysen after that.
Yeah. That bitch has no problem hearing, all right?
Yeah.
She's just trying to play dumb. I'll tell you right now.
This whole town's sketchy, bro.
Well, York decides.
Forrest Kaysen. He's hiding something. You think so too, right, Zach? But no need to rush. All secrets are hidden until they are inevitably divulged. The powers of entropy. The world exposes everything and causes chaos. Just like this coffee.
I
Oh, yeah.
love his lines. They're so great. They're so great.
What's in the coffee today?
It's FK again.
Ooh.
Did
The
you guys
coffee hits
continue
different.
to look into your coffee at all?
I did
Oh wait, no,
not.
I'm sorry. I bought a cup of coffee, and then
Oh, you did?
apparently you can like sit there and just look into it, and it tells you like different things, like what your lucky number for the day is.
Are you
what your
serious?
Yeah, oh yeah. And like it seems to be no stop of it. Like I did it 5 times, and it's like, do you want to do it again? And I was like, no, I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes. No, I don't want to do this anymore.
I knew John
Oh
would
god.
eventually.
Because I'm like, you know what? I need to start doing some of the side stuff so I don't miss out on some things. You know, I gotta enjoy the world. I was like,
Yep.
this is dumb. I can't do this. It's like, I can't.
But
Sorry.
it got you to do it 5 times. That's the best part. It still
Well, I
got
was
you
like-
to do it.
I was like, oh, I can do it more than once. I was like, it's got to max out at 3. And then it was like, after 3, I was like, it's got to max out at 5. And then it asked me again after 5. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Guys, there is a side mission in this. I don't know if you did it.
Nope.
No.
Well, you can talk to Polly. She mentions that she was cleaning some stuff out and built up a lot of memories for her. When York asks her about those memories, but she says,
Oh, my dear, Mr. Morgan, that's not the kind of question you should ask a lady.
your objective, should you choose to accept it,
Hmm.
is to find something that brings back her memories. Unfortunately, my game crashed.
Oh.
And when I got this back running again, I totally forgot to record the end of the side mission.
Yikes.
But let me give you guys a quick rundown on what happens. You go into a room, you find a picture of this really pretty young woman.
Wait, does she live in here?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
You bring that picture back to her. She says, "Oh, this was me when I entered into the Greenvale pageant." York tells her, "Well, you look really beautiful."
Probably want a cracker?
Hey. He assumes that she won the pageant. And she said, no, I got second place. York is confused. York says, how can that be? Who could have won first? Polly lets you know that it was actually the most beautiful woman in town at the time, Sigourney, the pot lady from last episode.
Oh.
Oh, what? Wow.
What the
Man.
fuck, dude?
She says, all the men chased after Sigourney back in the day, except for my husband. He was happy with me.
He's happy with second place. I'll be happy with second place.
If that's where first is going to end up, I'll take second.
Right?
I
We all know why. We all know why Polly's hunched over, man.
Oh,
hey.
hey.
Oh.
Zinga.
After that, you can leave the hotel and you meet George and Emily outside. They decide to go to the art gallery. York has a little moment of excitement because he can't believe that such a cultural place is in a town like this.
Smile.
After that cutscene, your game crashes numerous times in the same exact spot. In the same exact spot. Rendering
what were you
your
running it on?
I was running it on Windows 10.
Oh.
Every time it got to the end of that cutscene, it would crash right there. Let me tell you my adventure into this one. I switched to Windows XP, and it worked after numerous crashes in Windows 10. I'm going to let you know, eventually, I realized I couldn't aim. It would only go up a little bit, down a little bit, and that's it. I could not aim. And then my stream went to shit after that, because I was streaming this game on our Black and White gaming channel. That's right, you can watch it if you want. We tried to stream it. We tried to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the game was not cooperating with me that evening. I didn't want to play the game like that. I was getting so annoyed.
You wanna know how I could tell that you were having issues? Is I kept seeing your name pop up in the corner being like Super Game
Super
Geek
Game
starting
Geek.
Deadly Premonition. I was like, oh no, Pete. No.
Literally, it kept going, and I was just like, ooh, you hate to see it.
Yep.
Folks.
My solution to this, I switched the compatibility to Windows 98. And when I tried to start the game, my joysticks and D-pad would not work.
Good.
And I thought, great, I will never be able to beat this on PC. Ending the stream there, I started up Windows 98 compatibility. Joysticks and D-pad still aren't working. I restart the computer, and it works. It works
Nice.
perfectly fine. No crashes after that. Not a single one. A little bit of stutter here and there, but it was something I could live with. Now that the issues have been sorted out, we drive over to the art gallery. But before doing that, we talk a little bit about Diane. York is curious about Diane. And he finds out that Diane is not really popular among the town. Specifically, the woman in town. Emily being one of the women who don't like Diane. And York says,
I sense that this Diane is not popular among other women. I can't wait to meet her.
She's a slore.
a slore. What is that? Oh, I just realized. I'm an idiot.
I hate the driving in this game, by the way. And I think I if I were a better man, I'd try to test it out, but I can't bring myself to do so. I decided to play because I've been playing window mode the whole time.
Yep.
So like the screen is super shrunk down.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I'd like turn the littlest bit in the car, it's like super wide turns. It's just like "Hoo-ah, hoo-ah, hoo-ah, hoo-ah." And it's so hard to control. And then I played this portion in full screen mode, and my car drove perfectly fine.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know what the deal is with that. If that's even a thing.
I totally give up on trying to figure this game out. I'm
But
trying to
then-
figure this port out.
Yeah. And then I actually had it shrunk back down again in window mode, and it went back to like the fucking crazy ass driving. I don't know, man. I just throw my hands up at this game.
I'm right there with you, dude.
This port.
I can't even get mad at the crashes anymore. I just can't even get mad. It just happens. It's just part of playing.
You're just like,
It's like my life is reincarnated in a game. It's just like, yeah, well, you know.
You make it to Muse's gallery, Diane's art gallery, and York wants to go in alone. Yet
Shocking.
again.
Well, George, Emily, I want to talk with Diane alone. Will you wait here for me?
Don't tell me you still don't trust us.
No, that's not it. But this is very important to me. I always make sure that I meet with the important ones, one-on-one.
Oh, I bet you do, York.
Yeah, it is.
I bet you do. You just want some alone time with that mysterious woman you heard about.
That fire booty. You just gotta service the account. You know what I'm saying?
Funny enough, George just says,
Go on then. You're not gonna listen to us anyway, are you?
You're starting to understand me, George.
I sympathize with George so much. Where I'm just like, dude, just do whatever the fuck you're gonna do, man. I'm broken. I'm broken. You got me. Just do whatever you're gonna do.
in the art gallery, you run into a familiar face.
Yep.
It's Olivia Cormack. And
Mm.
she's rushing out of there. She looks a little nervous. Obviously has a lot on her mind. When you approach her, York asks her,
Hello, Olivia. Do you like art?
Yes, I do. Well, I mean, I like trees.
Trees. Okay.
York instantly knows something is off because when she finally rushes out, York goes to Zach and says,
Zach, she was lying about something. She said trees, not paintings of trees. She doesn't need to come here to see trees. There's tons of trees outside.
Fucking dumbass statement that he was saying. Like, you could like trees, and then because you like trees, want to see paintings of trees. All right.
Yeah, well, you don't
No,
understand.
it doesn't
Francis
make
Morgan
sense.
Is very observant. Okay,
Yeah.
he's an FBI agent. I don't think you knew.
You can call him York, though. That's what everyone calls him. On Olivia's way out, she drops two things. She drops a memo and a key. And we get our first puzzle of the game that you actually kind of have to figure out.
Did you actually read the memo?
I did.
No. How do you read it?
You just go into
I
your
tried-
inventory.
Inventory. It actually helps. It actually.
I swear to God, I looked in my inventory. I could not
Swear to
find I could not find it. I was like,
It
this is
actually-
stupid.
It actually helps with the puzzle.
It does.
Does it?
It
Oh,
does.
Great. Awesome.
It tells you what paintings you need to look at, in what order.
I fucking figured it out myself. It was easy. It was easy to an extent. First, I had to figure out what the fuck was going on, and then I figured out it was the trees. And then the order is just the order that you could actually see them in. Like, that was the first painting. Second paintings. The one that threw me off just a little bit is the last one,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know if we'll get there at that point, but it's like there doesn't have a tree count on here. I was like, oh, it's just one tree.
It's one tree. That messed me up. Because when I read the memo, at first I didn't know that it was counting the trees.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to each painting, and when he read the description, he would say a number.
Yeah.
So I would say, oh, that's 6. That's 4. And the
Listen,
last one,
I've done enough escape rooms where I can tell when there's a puzzle that I need to figure out something like this. All right. Child's play. Child's play.
still a better puzzle than the last two.
Fact.
Yes.
I'll give you that. Especially if you don't use the memo. Way to go, John.
Woo!
I'll give you
I'm not gonna lie. It stumped me for a second, and I went down and looked at that painting by itself like one or two times, and I was like, I'm definitely missing something. And then I saw the one that says like 4, and I was like, oh, I remember the other one said 6. It's like, okay. And then I was like, went back down to the one. I was like, no number. Oh, yep, single tree. Boom.
I'm giving John the gold star on that one. He wins that puzzle. Actually,
Hey.
he's up 2 on us, Devon. He's up 2 puzzles on us.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about that.
The king goes first.
Should have known, dude. Wait,
See, I'm just dumber than you guys. I'm just like, there goes King. Horsey.
You unlock the door. You go on in. There's another door. York's about to knock on it. And suddenly he hears something on the other side. A woman yell,
Like I said, there's no point in you having this. I can put it to far better use. I'm taking it with me, okay?
That's fine by me then, as you wish.
door swings open, And it's Carol McLean.
Yeah.
And then York's standing there like an idiot with his hands up.
Yeah.
Hands up, don't shoot.
So there's no way you could have been at the scene of the crime.
That's right. I was drinking at the bar with Nick until early morning. I'm sure if you ask him about it, he'll say the same.
Diane Ames. Guys, did you recognize something when her name popped up?
Oh, yes, sir.
From the dream, we met a certain woman, Becky with the good hair. They had the same last name.
Same resting bitch face.
Says the guy who missed the FK in the coffee.
Hey. Gotta go.
York and Diane talk for a little bit, and York wants to know why Carol was acting like that toward her. Diane tells York,
She thinks of me as an enemy, always bickering at what I say.
Is there any reason for that?
Perhaps because someone she liked ended up with me in my bed?
That would explain it, yes. If I may be so bold, who was the lucky man?
Diane, just straight power woman in the town, power move, says,
Oh, I sleep with anyone I wish. Anyone I prefer to sleep with. I guess she had her eye on one of them, but I don't know who it was exactly.
Damn.
Insert Drake meme. Ooh, Diane. What a bad bitch, bro.
For real, though, because then on top of that, she goes,
I could sleep with you, if you like.
Well,
What do you think of flies? It's going to be kind of like a three-way because Zach's going to be there. It's gonna be like,
Close your
Zach,
eyes, Zach.
what do you think?
Close your eyes, Zach.
I'm flattered by your offer, but I don't think that would be appropriate. You're exactly the kind of woman a man in my job should never get involved with.
That's a Humphrey Bogart line.
You're
right
exactly the kind of woman a man like me should never get involved with.
Exactly.
Here's to looking at you, kid.
York tells her,
I'll be frank. Right now, you are not a suspect. But both Zach and I are certainly feeling shaky about you.
As if she knows who Zach is.
Sure. Yeah. She doesn't question it at all.
She doesn't. She's like, oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
Zach
bring your
was...
friend around. What's he like?
York tells her to stay safe, but she's like, our people like us love a good thrill. And then York just robots the way out of there. He goes, well, I have no other questions to ask you. Goodbye.
See you later.
And that is the end of chapter 8.
Wow.
Woo!
Straight zooming on out, kid.
We moving. We cruising. We going to chapter 9.
Here's to looking at kid.
I love how Diane doesn't even question the fact that he got through the security door at all.
I know. Chapter 9 kicks off. You're back outside with George and Emily. He says, Diane told me she was with Nick all night. We got to go confirm this. So what do you have to do? You have to head to A&G Diner with Emily, because George is like, well, fine. You go do your thing. I'm going to go do paperwork. I'm tired of working with you right now.
Tired of you taking over my town.
Before you leave Muse's gallery, York looks up and sees a familiar face in the window. He sees Forrest Kaysen in the coffee talking to Diane.
That's Kaysen. Looks like the show has just begun, and it has an all-star cast.
York knows that the pieces are coming together. It's time to head over to A&G Diner to confront Nick. So you hop in your vehicle and drive all the way over to A&G Diner with Emily. I took the SUV this time, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just went straight for the SUV, man. All right. You left the police cruiser behind. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, George, you can take that shitty cruiser. I'm taking the SUV.
More room in the back. Hey, what's up, Emily? What's up?
Emily could get some FK in her coffee, you know what I'm saying?
You make it to A&G Diner, and the first question that York has.
The A&G Diner. Wonder what the A and G stand for.
Any ideas, Emily?
I told John in the first episode the music's gonna stick with you. The music's
It's
gonna
just
stick
annoying
with you.
because like it's at the most inopportune times that it switches to like the dumbest music. Where just like it's a serious moment and it's like. It's just so stupid. I hate this game. Jesus Christ. Dude. Oh god. And I'm broken. Oh god. Jesus. That's great.
York starts listing off different things that the ANG could stand for. And if you guys didn't notice, he says Access in Games. Access Games is a developer.
I wondered why he said Access in Games ago. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. I was like, what the fuck?
When you head into the ANG diner, you get a fun cutscene. I think it's a fun cutscene. Weird things happen.
Well, my game crashed at this point, so is at one point where they all look at the camera and then it fucking like they looked at me like ha crash. I was just like, you fuckers.
York and Emily order their food. York orders a turkey and gravy sandwich. Tells Emily, hey, you can just order what you want. Put it on the FBI's tab. And she says, I'm going to have the most expensive thing on the menu.
Yeah, you mean the tax dollars, fucking the taxpayers.
Congrats, we all just paid for a T-bone steak.
Yeah, including her. So I guess whatever. Go ahead.
Go for it, Emily.
Yeah, whatever.
At this point, a familiar Psycho Mantis shows up. That's right. It is Mr. Stewart and Michael Tillotson, Mr. Harry Stewart.
Right here. This is where they're all looking at you. This is where I crashed right there. Restart your game, so says Mr. Stewart.
Michael Tillotson does a weird rhyme. He actually sounds weird when he says this sentence.
Mrs. Olivia Cormack, I am here for Mr. Stewart's lunch. If it is ready, I'd thank you a bunch.
You can hear his pause.
He's like improvising. He's like, fuck.
I know. He's like, Harry didn't tell me what to say. I'm talking on my own here.
I am no longer the puppet, but the puppet master. Shit.
Olivia runs and grabs the food and says,
Here you go. The usual. 1 turkey, strawberry jam, and cereal sandwich.
What do you guys think of that sandwich? How does that sound to you?
I would try it.
No, first of all, you can't have a generic thing like cereal that covers such a span of different things. What kind of cereal? Is it Lucky Charms? Is it fucking Crackling Oat Bran? What the fuck are we talking about here? I would be interested in trying it if I knew the cereal.
Here's my thing. I instantly thought Frosted Flakes.
I thought Corn Flakes. So we're on the same
page, same wavelength.
Similar
I love this, John.
It's the only one that made sense to me. I was like,
Frosted Flakes is
you're gonna have some fucking Captain Crunch up in that shit,
right?
Oops, all berries with the strawberry and turkey.
York reacts to the description of the sandwich and says,
Sounds like the sinner's sandwich. Self-inflicted punishment to atone for past sins. He's setting an example.
Doesn't even make sense. What does that even mean? It's a goddamn sandwich.
We don't even know what his past sins are. Mr. Stewart rides on up, and Michael Tillotson stands beside him. Michael tells York,
Mr. Francis York Morgan, you should try this wonderful lunch. It's more than a delicious, tasty crunch. So says Mr. Stewart.
York declines, understandably.
I want that shit.
That's not really the type of sandwich I would want to order. But Mr. Stewart and Michael do not let up. They are persistent. It's kind of funny that they're this close and no one can hear what Mr. Stewart is saying.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Eventually, they get York to agree. And he tries the sandwich. You get to see the sandwich in all its glory. York lifts the sandwich up, takes a bite, jumps out of his seat, looks at the sandwich and says,
I can't believe it. This is fantastic. It's really good. Olivia, I'm sorry, but can I change my order? I'll have what Harry is having.
And they just stand dumbfounded.
What?
Olivia and Emily just stand there, mouths agape. They cannot believe what just took place. And I bet neither can the player. Because I guarantee you guys were like, what just happened?
So weird.
It was
Do you
weird,
think it's an
but
actual sandwich that the one of like the writer or the director actually makes?
Probably.
But it kind of reminded me of the biscuit thing with Thomas and everything. That's what it reminded me of.
What did you guys think of the cutscene, though?
It brings a little lightheartedness, some comedy to the game that already probably doesn't need it because it's laughable on its own. But it was fun. It was good. It was all right.
I think like the comedy's great. It's good there. I like that. I just know that when they do stuff like the funny and comedy type stuff, later on it's gonna be like
it's gonna get real.
It's gonna get real. Shit's gonna get real.
York makes a little comment about Nick and Diane.
That's all I kept thinking about the entire time. Literally. So annoying.
Nick and Diane. They hardly make the perfect couple, do they? Is it widely known that they go drinking together, just the two of them?
To be honest, I don't pay attention to these things.
Not into local gossip?
When York makes a comment about Nick and Diane to Emily, Emily says, I'm not really into the gossip in the town. When I got here, I had my Seattle clothes on, and everyone thought I was a sloot. So I just stayed away from it all.
Big old slut. No.
York then makes a little interjection there and says, I used to dress up like a punk rocker. And Emily just laughs in his face.
I used to dress like a hardcore punk rocker when I was in high school.
You? A punk rocker?
Nobody took my side, even when I had good grades. People rejected me just because of what I wore.
Can you look at his neck for a second? Like,
yes, it's like bulging out.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There. I was like, dude, you might want to get that checked out, man.
I know. It's like the bottom of his skull is just bulging out of his neck.
Also, she was talking about her whore pass, and he didn't say a word about it and totally accepted it. He said he dressed up like a punk rocker, and she's laughing her ass off.
I know, right in his face, just laughing at the fact that he dressed up like that. She can't.
Yeah, but because he's a fucking psychopath, he doesn't even fucking care.
Bring it back, Peter. Bring it back just a little bit. He looked a little angry there.
He does make fun of her.
And you laugh? Look at you. No makeup on, dressed in uniform, eating a steak for lunch.
Ooh, shut her up.
You homely bitch.
Look how angry he looks when he's drinking the coffee. He just hits her. Stupid slut.
Go back to Seattle.
Go back to
your fucking eyeshadow on, bitch.
Go back to your home on Whore Island.
You finally get control of York. And what do you do right here? You automatically save.
Can I say that Kimuro literally had a crash, and when she tweeted about it, she said, damn it, I got caught up and I didn't do my, in parentheses, always be saving. And I was like,
ABS.
ABS.
Like, there it is,
ABS.
kid. It made it.
I've been bringing that to other games now. You walk up to Nick, and this cutscene isn't spoken dialogue. Weirdly enough, that was weird, right?
They do that. They do that with a couple of them. It's
a couple of
weird.
them. This one just seemed weird.
It should have been.
Yes.
Acted out.
York asks Nick about Diane, and he says, yeah, we go, we meet, we drink, we talk about Rembrandt and Turner. York says, oh, so she was with you during the night of the crime. And he says, yeah, so it's not her.
Not her.
It wasn't her.
Yeah, I hate Nick the Dick.
They should make a movie out of this.
Nick is not a cool dude at all.
No, fuck Nick.
York then says, "No, that's not it." And he says, "Oh, you're after me. Well, it's not me."
Like, bro, chill the fuck out. Oh my god.
You're making a case.
I know.
York shuts him up by saying, "I think there is something both of you are hiding. You could tell people are hiding something by their reactions. Eye, tongue, and hand movements, sweat, dry lips, neck angles, and such." And Nick says, "I'm working here. Get out."
Order and get out of here.
And his
You
best
jamoke.
Northwest or Pacific West fucking New York accent. I'm working here.
After you're done talking with Nick, you have to talk to Olivia once again. And York traps her in this conversation. He pulls out those sweet old interrogation techniques.
Do the three of you ever go drinking together?
Well, you see, I'm really not into art.
And your husband is well versed in the arts then, I take it.
Oh, yes. Looking at art and talking about it is his way of relaxing.
People just aren't what they seem. Like a certain someone who was into punk rock 10 years ago.
You are absolutely right, Emily. But you can be an art lover and a liar at the same time.
Boom! Gotcha!
Gotcha, bitch.
You just said that you aren't interested in art.
That's right. And...
So, how come I bumped into you at the art gallery? Didn't seem like Nick brought you there. You were there alone.
Well, I like trees, is the thing. That's why I went there.
Surely you'd be better off in the forest rather than an art gallery then. I think you went to the gallery not to see trees, but to see Diane, right?
He's still over that logic. The trees are right here. Why go look at paintings when they're right here? Fucking God.
It works, though, because Olivia gets all frazzled and tells York and Emily, "Meet me in the backyard after the diner closes. I'll tell you what I know then." Hands him the key for the backyard. There's a lot of time to kill if you don't wait for it to close. So I imagine you guys just smoke cigarettes.
I actually, I want to say right around here, there's this, on the map, there's like this pink square.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over to it, and it's like this house that you can go into and like change your clothes and sleep if you want.
Oh.
So I slept for like 9 hours, and then I smoked a cigarette for like two or three.
Nice.
But it was weird. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was.
I chain smoked them Newports, baby.
You guys still haven't had the glitch of the double cigarette, though.
Nope.
No.
Have you?
Dude, I actually had 0 glitches once I did this compatibility switch.
Yeah. Nice. I still have a bunch. I fell through the map on one of the when it was trying to get that code for the museum.
Mm-hmm.
That door that's right next to the keypad.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into it, it was just like super bright white light. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna go through one of those scenes," and then he closes the door, and it didn't go through. It just fucking fell through the map, and it was like investigation failed. It's like, okay.
Was that on stream?
No.
Oh,
no, I didn't
dude.
do that on that stream, no. No. I was
Oh,
like,
God.
Awesome. Cool.
That's hilarious.
If there's one thing I can say, it's that John will never forget this game.
No, I won't. It's an experience. I'm going into it as an experience right now. That's what it is. I think the best glitch I've come across still is the last chapter or the last episode we did where he laid down in the bed and he just fucking teleported slowly into the headboard.
That's hilarious.
And I'd never know which one's actually like a glitch or which one's actually the game. It's just like,
I can imagine John sitting there just going like, I don't know if this
I'm
is
just
supposed to happen.
Did I take DMT and I'm just fucking going through fucking experience? What's going on? I'm not sure.
So I'm just like, well,
yeah.
all right.
It's an experience, man.
Once the A&G diner closes, You head into the backyard and you confront Olivia. After you light a cigarette. As Olivia tells her story, she says, Nick blames me for not knowing much about Turner and Rembrandt. I don't like art. What can I say? But they go out drinking every night now, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I followed them. And they went to the bar to start with.
He did go to the bar to start with. Diane was there too. But the real problem is where they go to next, right? So I waited outside the bar to see where they might go. And they eventually left the bar and headed for the art gallery. But it was already early morning, but it was still dark. Just before going inside, Diane turned around. It should have been too dark to see me, but I swear, her eyes looked right at me. They seemed to flash for a moment. I was so rattled that I left and went home.
I'm gonna fuck your man.
And the next day, Anna was found dead. Olivia has no idea what to do. She's freaking out. She's crying. In the midst of all this, we get a call from George. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And George tells you something's going down at Becky's place.
It's going down at the deck.
I've just received word from Thomas at the sheriff's department. Something has happened at Becky's house. It was called in by Quint, but he wasn't making any sense. We have no further details. I've sent Thomas over there. Can you go back him up?
Yes, sir.
One other thing. It sounded like he said, Raincoat Killer.
Olivia starts freaking out, thinking that it could be Nick, especially because he just left not too long ago.
It's true.
It starts raining. The killer only comes out in the rain. York says, I'm heading over to Becky's. Emily, you stay here with Olivia. That's the end.
Oh, shit.
Doesn't get old.
That's the end of chapter 9. We are now on chapter 10, the final chapter for this section.
Hey.
York has to race over to Becky's house. You do just that. You crash into a few things on the way there. At least I definitely did.
You're drunk. It's fine.
It's just that sandwich.
The FBI will cover it up.
When York gets there, Quint and Thomas are outside the house, and Quint is disheveled. He can't believe it. He has his head in his hands. He's shaking his head. He's freaking out, not giving any answers. York asks Thomas if he's seen anyone, and Thomas says, no, when I got here, he was like this. York tells him, call George. Tell Emily to get over here, too. I'm going inside. And boys, we head on inside to Becky's house.
Oh, good.
Hey, and this isn't just a go on inside and find something part. No, this is another mysterious shadow section.
I'm getting more and more like disgruntled over these parts. I don't know why. Like it just seems like it's just so disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do have a feeling that they were gonna like bridge it and you'll understand, but like so here's my thing is that York to me is a fucking psychopath. Right? Like mind you, this is only happening when he's by himself. He talks to you as the gamer, but like he's literally talking to someone inside his fucking head. York is on. I have 3 suspects in this game of people I think that are the killer, and York is on that fucking short list. I don't fucking trust him at all.
Honestly, I think so too. He's on that list as well because this stuff, the whole part of him being in the red room, seeing himself as a child, something's in that cigarette that he's smoking.
I'm weary of that's with the FK, man. It's Francis York. I'm just saying. He's not cleared in my book. We haven't seen his back, if you catch my drift. All right. It's the one thing I got in this game that keeps me going. So I just want to know what the fucking killer is now. I'm invested in that at least.
Hey, there's some investment. You head on inside the house, and you take a couple steps forward, and what happens? The killer shows up.
Devon dies and gets fucking wrecked.
You died here?
No, I didn't die, but he did. He did fucking hit me.
He did grab you?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's me every single time.
It caught me
I've
so
never
off
dodged
guard,
him.
dude.
I've never dodged him the first time.
I actually
ever.
jumped too when it happened because I wasn't expecting it. I freaked out.
I was quick on the button.
Must be nice.
Quick on the heart as well. I was like, oh god, all right, he's here. After he gives you the finger wag.
Mm-hmm.
No. He runs away, and you fall victim to the slowest cabinet doors in all of video game history. For no reason whatsoever. They just open incredibly slowly.
So mad doing this. I was like, what? Why?
I think these are the only two cabinets like this in the game. Like, we have not come across another cabinet like these two. And
was there anything even in them? I know
there was in one of them. In one of them there was.
Of course. Oh,
but
God.
it takes you a solid 5 seconds each. And I know that doesn't sound like a long time, but it does when you're watching them open and you're thinking, okay.
When every other door you just go whoop, whoop, it's open. 5 seconds is an eternity.
The area that you're in, doors to the side and the stairs are blocked off. So there's only one door that you can go through. When you head through there, you're in a room where there's a bed. I should say a couch. There is a bed in there, but you can't sleep on that bed. You can sleep on the couch. Phone, suitcase, where you can change your clothes, which is what I did, and I put on that snazzy red suit that he had, that red blazer he has, and suit jacket. On the bed, though, there's some red velvet. That red velvet is just like the place where Anna was murdered. And the profiling segment kicks in, which means we're going to have to find some clues. After you save, you get the choice of going into either the door to the right or the door to the left. There's 2 doors out of this room. Guys, which ones did you go through?
I think I went through the right one.
I as well went right.
Oh, we all went through the same door. Nice. Let me ask you guys, before a certain section, what did you think of this area of Becky's house?
I don't like creepy stuff. We've already been through this. But I would say Becky's house isn't too bad. Still a creepy vibe. Like I said, creepy stuff. We don't mix. Long hallways, stuff like this. No. No. We don't mix. We don't mix whatsoever. Other than that, I mean, it wasn't too bad.
I hate the level design in this game because it's simple. The thing that bugs me most is like the perfect example is when you first walk into the house and you're like the foyer and you have like the couches blocking off the left and the right. I hate when something is like, dude, if I was really there, I could just jump over that couch, no problem, and just go over there. I hate artificial like blocking of an area. I'm just like, this is so stupid.
Good old video game design.
Yeah, it's I get it. I get why they do it, but like this is just to the extreme because of the I think lower budget that they had. Obviously, it's not a AAA game or anything like that, but it's like there were certain things in this game that make me mad, especially with these like little red like blood walls that they have, where they just like completely section off an area. I'm like, you're just doing this so I can't go to this one like spot. I don't know.
They're corralling you. They're saying,
yeah, I know. That's what it is. I feel like a fucking cow going to be slaughtered in this fucking, bovine university.
What do you guys think about the volume of enemies? Because there are definitely more in this area.
Yes. I think there's one area where they just keep coming. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the infinite spawn.
I think for me, what the most frustrating thing about fighting these enemies is when they start, I freak out very quickly. So like when they start moving towards me and they're phasing and stuff, I literally panic. I'm in a panic, constant state of panic.
I think at this point I was like, we need a different enemy. Like I didn't think, like, obviously the character models look different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's the same. And I think this is why I'm getting a little upset at this, like these portions. It's like it's kind of the same things, and it just feels artificially inflating, or just like I think you mentioned that the director of the game didn't want to actually put the shooting portions in,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it
Yeah.
kind of like once you told me that, as like it kind of does feel like a separate game, kind of, right? It doesn't feel very disjointed, but it feels slightly disjointed. Where I'm like, it does kind of seem like this is just kind of thrown in to be like, hey, we're gonna shoot things now, okay? It's like,
That's true.
but I don't know. It was fine. It was all right.
These sections definitely feel tense at times. For me, they're not bad. I like the supernatural aspect to the game, and it definitely changes the tone of the game 100% from when you're going to, you know, Sinner's Sandwich to to creepy monsters crawling out through the wall. I do like the initial monster design coming out of the wall. I like the shifting thing that they can do to you.
Yep.
I do agree that enemy variety would have been pretty sweet and made these sections a little better.
I guess I don't know. Like, I know you're playing through this game again, and maybe knowing the full story and going back through it makes these sections a little bit better.
Mhm.
But just playing through it for the first time, I'm like, these kind of become more annoying to me. Where I'm like, I know we're just doing this to get to this other point, and it just feels like very artificial, like blockades that just are like, all right, here you go. You know,
Yep.
here's the enemies to shoot. It's just, I don't know. I could do
I hear you.
without them.
Yeah. It is a weird thing, you know, we're 5-6 hours into the game and you still have no idea why these things are happening.
You are 5 or 6 hours into the game. Must be nice.
I have like 11 hours played. Let's just let me tell you that.
I don't even want to check my Steam.
Quote unquote played.
Yeah. Equal times crashed. And,
but John, I do totally understand where you're coming from with that. You know, you're this far into the game and you want answers as to why these things are happening and what is causing this.
It's the fact that he's like, it's not even he's like, what's going on, blah blah. Like he's like, oh, we're here again. All right, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, this is now what, the third or fourth time this has happened, and it's just like he just walking into it, being like, all right, let's do this. It's like, what's
right?
Give me something. Give me a little something.
I want some clues, damn it.
Yeah.
Speaking of wanting clues, you come across our first clue. That's when York looks into a mirror, smiles at himself, sees the reverse peace sign, or so
Tree sign.
it seems.
Tree sign.
You continue a little further. You're taking out a bunch of mysterious shadows. You find our second clue, which is the red seed.
Ooh.
Right. Clue number 2, only one more to go. But of course, before we can get our final clue, there's something in our way. Or should I say, someone in our way.
Good.
Yes. He's back, baby. The Raincoat Killer. After you grab those first 2 clues, you end up back in the room with the couch, the phone. You make sure you save. When you head through the left door, you can see the killer in the distance. And he walks into a room. Where do you gotta go? Into that room. And when you do, the dual screen kicks up and you have to hide. And it's another one of those hiding sequences. Guys, where did you hide and did you get found?
I hid in one of the dressers.
I went to the drawer to the right of yours.
I sprinted in that bitch.
Oh, I went right to the first one that I found and hid right inside there. Right into the first closet.
I was losing my mind at this point because I was getting so mad that this dude, I've seen him fucking snap, fucking sprint, boom, 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 and he walks around the room like the fucking snail that he is. And I'm just like, dude.
He has the audacity to walk.
Just, I'm gonna hold my breath. Just come on. Come on. Oh my god. It also bugs me that he's dragging that thing the whole time, the axe the whole time. It only sparks when he walks in one direction. It should be sparking the entire time.
When
He's
he
dragging
walks
it
to
the
the
entire
left.
time.
Well, it also sparks on carpet. So let's just keep that in mind.
Nice.
You have to hold your breath. It's very similar to the previous segment that we did. When he can't find you, gets super angry, throws his axe, and then runs out the room.
It sparks the entire time. It kicks the door in like a motherfucker.
Champ.
Like, man, I can't find him.
I'm so mad. I'll die in this hill.
You come out of your hiding spot. Where do you got to go?
You have to follow the killer.
Correct. You head on through. There's more mysterious shadows you got to take out. You go through a couple doors, and then all of a sudden, our good old friend decides to make another appearance, kicks open the door like a motherfucker, and we have our second chase sequence. A much shorter chase sequence than the one in the lumber mill. Thank God. Also, no boxes to push. How did this work out for you guys?
Quick, easy, and painless.
Yeah, it's fine.
Nice.
I'm not a fan of these anymore. I've already, like, by the second one, I'm like, I'm over it. It was cool the first time. I'm kind of over it.
I'm just glad they didn't have a QuickTime event for when you had to dodge that accident.
Yes, dude. Me and you both. Oh, and he does the fucking, like, dive through the door. Like he's a fucking action star.
Like there's an explosion behind him happening. Once you've escaped the killer, you can head upstairs. You're back in that main room, and you can head up the stairs and find the final clue of this section. And that, my friends, is the bloody camisole.
Camisole. Give me that shirt. Boo.
And you can finally watch the profiling segment in its entirety. Not that you could tell anything that's happening in the pictures. They're very blurry. They're very close up. It definitely looks like she's getting choked at some point. Can't really tell. Obviously, something bad happened to Becky. You head into the next area. There's a bloody bed. Poor
a fucking
Becky.
Big ass bloody bed.
Yeah, a big ass
like,
bloody bed. There's a lot of blood on there.
Yeah.
Time of the month, man.
Oh.
Damn.
Someone didn't get the tampons. York hears something, and he asks, does that sound like rain? No, it's the shower. Quick, to the bathroom. And if you're like me, you search the room first before you head to the bathroom.
Yeah, I say first.
Yes. ABS, Becky. ABS. Sorry.
You understand, right?
When you do head into the bathroom, we get a cutscene, and we get quite the cutscene, huh, boys? Huh?
See, this is the stuff I wish they would fucking do more. Like, this is the cool stuff in this game. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, wow.
Instantly.
York walks in to the room, and there are wires.
I thought
all
it was
over
glitched,
the
to be
place.
honest, with all the... At first. At very, very first.
There are wires strung up all around the room. In the center of the room, there's a knife on a wire just hanging, and that knife is bloody. You obviously can tell what caused the period stain on that bed. When York turns his attention to his left, he sees Becky strung up in the tub, just in her underwear, wires holding her up, blood all over her, the shower on, just raining down. It is a gruesome scene.
Posed
Very
the same
cool.
way that Anna
Very
is.
cool.
What was your first thought when you saw Becky?
I literally thought of Anna, the way she was perched up on like the tree immediately.
I was just like, oh, fuck. I was like, this is getting like, woo.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing that makes me mad is like, they go with like all this like hokey, lighthearted, stuff. And then immediately to this like super graphic, like, okay, this is pretty serious. And it was good for like a little shock factor because I didn't expect it to be as gruesome as it was. So it was cool. I liked it. It's good. A little fucked in the head. It's fine.
I agree. Yeah. When I first saw this, I remember just thinking, oh my God. We were just talking about a sinner sandwich.
Yep.
York turns off the shower. The way she looks, assumes that she's dead. Lights a cigarette, only to find out that she is not. Because she spazzes up. She is alive. He tells Zach right away. Does he ask her if she's okay? Does he ask her about her well-being? Does he try to calm her down? Nope.
Does he try to help her at all? No.
He's all about the
First
case.
thing he does is ask her who did this. She tries to speak, but she can't. It's obvious that her tongue is no longer a part of her body.
It was George.
George, Emily, and Thomas come in. They're freaking out, and George tells Thomas,
Thomas, cut that wire. No! We must get her to the hospital immediately.
And Thomas drops the pliers that apparently he just brings with him wherever he goes. George pushes him out of the way and says, I got it. Goes to the wire, goes to cut it. Becky is freaking out. Becky is losing her mind. She obviously does not want the wire to be cut. York tells George to not do it. George cuts the wire.
The most confusing thing happened.
Yeah, it's actually super confusing. But when he cuts the wire, she falls and the red velvet swoops down, grabs her by the neck, and choked her. Becky has died.
Very disappointed by the scene.
So what were you disappointed by?
Because it starts off so cool, right? And then everyone storms in, fine, perfectly fine. George goes to cut the wire, perfectly fine. She's freaking out. York says, George, stop. And then he's like,
I like the shot that you get of everyone's face, though.
Cut! Like a good 10 seconds of like, dude, stop. She's freaking out. Don't do it.
So I like to think that it wasn't like a full 10 seconds. I like to think that the reason why it felt longer is because they wanted to do a shot of everyone's face before he actually did it.
It wasn't even the face too. Like there's still time. Like if I'm starting to cut a wire and someone's like, John, stop. I'm gonna be like, huh? Or like, okay. I'm not gonna be like, John, stop. Bah. Like I don't know. Like
unless you're like, York, shut the fuck up. She's dying. I'm gonna cut this wire.
Unless you're one of the people on the short list.
Dun.
Yeah, then the other disappointment was the whole like red velvet shit coming to her throat. I totally thought like somehow the knife was gonna like swoop down and like fucking stab her. I was just like, huh? I was like, oh, okay. Like, all right.
I honestly, while I like the scene, I think the scene is cool and everything like that. I don't understand how that velvet suddenly knows once the wire is cut to swoop down, wrap itself around her neck, and just yank.
Like you could totally have it to just be like, there's other wires you didn't see that had the velvet on it, right? And when it's cut, it's like swoops up and like fucking tightens up and kills her. It's like these things just like come from like the corners and just like wrap around her throat. It doesn't make any sense.
It really didn't make
no sense.
It's a Japanese game. You can just chalk it up to that.
I feel like they just wanted to have a cool looking scene of her dead with like the red velvet straps coming with like
it was like a cool shot, like the way
it
that
is.
they did it.
I'm not gonna
like...
lie, that's cool. It's just like I feel like they could have gotten there a different way. You know?
Kind of looks like a tree.
Becky has died. She has been strangled by the red velvet wire things. And then York sees something. He notices Becky lift her hand up. And when York turns around, Anna is there reaching out for Becky. What do you guys think of this?
York is a psychopath.
York he's losing his mind, dude. He's going nuts. He definitely.
Just as their hands are about to touch, Becky gets yanked back. And I don't know if it's the wires that yank her back, but something causes her body get pulled backward, and out of her mouth falls a key.
Becky's gone.
Everyone is distraught that Becky is dead. Emily cries into George's chest. Thomas throws up. And then you have control of York. You pick up the key.
To the safe?
And it's the key to the safe. If you were like me, you already found out where the safe was when you explored the room before you even came into the bathroom to help out Becky. To quote-unquote help out Becky, because there was no helping done. You head over to the safe, and in the safe is a diary. Becky's diary. And it has some information for us, boys.
My dear sister, I'm so sorry. I was a fool to fall for a man like him. I don't have the words to apologize to Anna.
I left her there. She was suffering so much, and I just ran away. I know he wanted to kill me too, but I'm not going to let him get away with this. I followed him after he was finished. He carried Anna into the woods. Anna was holding on to that precious locket of his. He couldn't remove it from her hand, even though she was dead. But she let go of it for me, though. It was like she gave it to me. So I brought it home. I might be able to bring Anna's killer down with it. I want you to see it. I know even he wouldn't dare to harm you. He'll catch me, though, if I go into town. I'm trapped in my house. So I've asked Isaac and Isaiah to deliver it. They totally believe that Anna became a goddess. I believe so, too. She looked so beautiful, as though she might smile back at any moment. I have something else to confess to you. I borrowed a pair of your shoes without asking and broke the heel on one of them. I'll send them along with the locket. I'm sure the shoe can be fixed.
We learn a few things from Becky's diary. We learn the killer is a he. Becky knows who the killer is. We learn and confirm that it was a locket in Anna's hand, and Becky was the one who grabbed it. Who has that locket? She gave it to Isaac and Isaiah, the kids that she babysits, because they believe that Anna is a goddess. We also confirm that Becky is Miss Stiletto Heel because she borrowed her sister's heel, Diane. Diane Ames is her sister, the owner of the art gallery. What do you guys think of that reveal in the diary?
I mean, I feel like it narrowed a few things down. I mean, we all kind of knew it was going to be a guy, right? We all kind of figured it was going to be a male.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the fact that learning that she gave the locket, which could probably potentially have some more information to the twins, pretty sweet, pretty dope, pretty stokey, you know? I think that whole scene and everything that happened was like monumental to the story, huge for the story, right? Because this whole time, like John said before, you know, you don't really know what's going on. You know, we are kind of a little ways in. We don't really, you know, the Raincoat Killer. We don't really know what the fuck's going on with all that shit and everything that's happening. But like now we're kind of getting the meat and potatoes. You know
Getting some answers, but a lot more questions.
Right, a lot more questions.
It was okay. I don't think they actually did too much because even though we find out who Miss Stiletto Heels is, she's dead. Didn't give us any real information other than we have a locket. Like I said, we get answers to questions, but now we have 5 different more questions. It's like, okay. So, you know, we find out officially it's a dude that's the killer. We kind of already assumed that. It felt more teased, but I didn't feel like I was any closer to who the killer was.
Mm-hmm.
We just have more people to talk to, especially those devil kids that I have no interest in.
We have a lead, though, John. We have a lead.
I know.
Like any good mystery should have.
I just want to say, the red seed. I believe the red seed is what grows the saplings. Motherfuckers.
It's also a metaphor for the devil's seed.
Damn.
That's what I think. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
That dark turn to end the chapter.
Yeah, Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. I left this on a fucking horrible note.
That's absolutely what would happen in this game. Well, guys,
Zach, I think it's the devil's seed.
we should go get a sinner's sandwich. And that is the end of the section, boys. That's the end of the chapter. We completed it. What do you guys think of this section? Did you like how the story is playing out? I mean, it's kind of picking up the pace compared to what the intro episode was, because that was a lot slower, a lot more getting you in line with what's going on. This one kind of picking things up. Pieces are moving.
Right. The king is the first piece that moves.
I'm glad that there's a another death. That's kind of like and correct me if I'm wrong. No, I'm saying
like,
it's just, I'm just saying it's like
I'm happy that someone else died in this video game.
No, like because nothing has been happening. I'm glad something has happened to further progress the story. Now, if I recall, when the first death happened, didn't he say there was going to be like a certain number of other people killed? No,
you did.
I did.
You did.
I don't remember
because you said when he was throwing down the seeds.
Yeah, they're all 3, right?
They all had 3s, and you said, "Oh, I think there's going to be a couple more murders."
All right,
judging on those other bags. So you're at 2. You're at 2 now.
That's right. Yeah, so I'm glad it's picking things up. When it comes to this game, I'm very conflicted because while playing it, I can't fucking stand it. But like, I actually really like talking about it. Like the stuff afterwards. I enjoy going through everything and talking about it and having fun with it after. But like, it drives me fucking insane playing this game.
God, you love it though.
And I'm not even talking about like the crashes and all that stuff. Like, it's just like there's things of like I don't care. I just want to get through this fucking part. Like,
but you love it.
I don't know. So I'm very conflicted.
Secretly, you love it.
I'm very conflicted.
It's a perfect love-hate relationship right now. That's what it is. It's the
you love to hate it.
I'm gonna be happy when I finish this game because I'll be able to reflect on it and be like, oh, like yeah, all this shit happened, blah blah blah. But like playing it is such a fucking chore. It's just like it's so brutal, man. It's just like.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like boo doo 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 doo.
Oh man, I wish.
So happy to be going through it again. That's the crazy thing. I love it though.
I'm happy you're
glad,
happy, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're happy.
I'm happy you're happy talking about it though. Yeah. Glad you're enjoying talking about it. Well, boys, that is the end of our episode.
Woo.
Episode 3. We're cruising along. So let's talk about our homework assignment for the next episode. We need to get to the end of episode 2, part 2. I'm going to specify. End of episode 2, part 2. That's 3 more chapters. Why are we telling you that? Why are we telling you to what point that we're playing? Because you can try to play this game too. And what I mean by try is that you might not be as successful as the rest of us as we grind our way through this. If you have a 360 or an Xbox One, just do yourself a favor and get that version. Don't dabble. Or if you have a PS3, get that version.
It's on Xbox One?
You can play the Xbox 360 copy on that.
That's right. Oh, you're so smart. I should have just done that.
Same. I have an Xbox as well.
God damn it.
We want to offer you the opportunity to play with us because if you join our Discord, you can discuss the game with us as well. You can leave any questions that you want us to talk about in our episodes. You can go right over to the Discord and do that. If you want the link to the Discord, it's going to be in the description of the YouTube video that you're watching or the listening platform that you have, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. There's one more. I can't remember. SoundCloud. There it is.
And guess what? If you don't want to play through it, you can watch us play through it by going to our Twitch and following us there. One of us will be playing through this, okay? Section at a time. You could totally just watch us play it, be caught up with everything, still talk on the Discord, still listen to this podcast. Just keep up with everything. It's great.
Absolutely. You can follow us at BLKWHT Gaming. That's also our tag for Instagram and Twitter, so you can follow us on there. If you
don't
neglect
the YouTube either.
You can see our ugly ass reactions to this while we're talking about this game.
Facts.
And if you want to reach out to us in a private sense, if you want to send us an email, feel free, blkwhtgaming@gmail.com. Correction, by the way, I need to make one correction before we end this episode. Thanks to Camero, I have found out that the times don't mean a thing.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is when they tell you this place is open from this to this, you have to get there between these times. In order to trigger the event, you have to go in between those times. Let's say you miss the time. If you miss the time, it doesn't even matter because it's going to reset for the next day. You might get someone angry with you. You might get some funny or interesting dialogue options.
So you won't miss anything, essentially.
No, you will not miss anything.
Awesome.
Well,
I won't have that trouble because I will just smoke cigarettes until I need to go to someplace.
But that is the end of our episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you are having a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, however you are. I wish you the deadliest of premonitions. I'm Peter with John.
Hey.
And Devon.
Hey.
We're Black and White Gaming, and we'll see you next time.